We are live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's video. If you're new here today, my name is Betty, and I have a guest here with me today. He's one of the directors at Diaspora Insurance. And so today we are going to be talking about the struggles that people go through when we lose our loved ones here in diaspora, and he will tell us more about the product they came up with to ease the burden of our people, and he has amazing information. And guys, I'm gonna give him a chance. Welcome, Dr. Sibet. He's the director at Diaspora Insurance. Welcome.
Thank you, Betty. Thank you very much. Thank you for having us this evening here in the UK, and I think in the US it's actually morning. Maybe in Australia it's nighttime. So thank you for having us.
So your company is, you can tell our viewers, the company is based in the UK, or it's global?
Yes, we got our headquarters in the United Kingdom, and we got operations globally. And we also have got an office in South Africa. So we operate globally.
Okay. So you can please tell us, you know what, before you tell us more, let me play a quick advert here, and then we'll be right back after the short break.
A death in the diaspora can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be like that. At Diaspora Insurance, we know it's about a dignified send-off and peace of mind that comes with knowing all things are in order. We therefore designed a policy with the diaspora community in mind. You get covered in a currency of your choice: pounds, euros, rand, and US dollars. It helps knowing that with Diaspora Insurance, your life will be celebrated no matter what. For a quote, visit www.diasporainsurance.com or call the numbers on the screen. Diaspora Insurance, peace of mind guaranteed.
Okay, so could you please tell us who Diaspora Diaspora Insurance is?
Thank you, Betty. So basically, Diaspora Insurance is a consulting firm that specializes in designing, marketing, and distributing insurance products that are targeted at foreign nationals and that live in countries like UK, US, Canada, Australia, EU. The term that we use for people who live outside their country of birth is diaspora. So we've named ourselves based on our target market. So we call ourselves Diaspora Insurance to show the specific target market we focus on. And particularly, we're focusing on people from Africa who are living in those countries I've mentioned. We got two offices. One is in South Africa, and the other one is in UK, supporting our global operations. We've been operating for close to 10 years now. I think in 2022, we'll be celebrating our 10th anniversary. So we've been in the business for a very long time, and we've got a very strong track record in the market. Our key product or household product that we provide is called the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan. This is the bespoke cash cover that pays out cash when someone makes a claim in the event of someone losing a loved one on the policy.
Okay, so you can please tell us how that cash plan, the Diaspora cash plan works. You can explain to the viewers a little bit about that.
Okay, so for me to be able to explain clearly how the product works, I have to sort of like explain the anatomy of a diaspora.
Okay.
Someone like you and me who live outside their country of birth. So basically, a diaspora is someone they live in a foreign country, and usually they have they belong actually to two societies: one their host country and their country of birth. And this is because of emotional ties and socioeconomic reasons as well. because you find most diasporans, they send money back home to support family, and on record, I think more than 80 billion US dollars are sent to Africa.
Yes, they do.
People who live in these countries to support families back home. Because of those strong ties, you find that 90 to 95% of diasporans, if they pass away, they would want to be laid to rest in their home country. But that requires a lot of money, because you want to talking about a funeral in the diaspora, a funeral back home, buying a casket, and the flights for the families, and the actual repatriation of the deceased, and all other associated expenses. So death in the diaspora, if you want to repatriate someone to their home country, could be talking probably something like 15,000 US dollars to repatriate someone, maybe from US to Kenya. Or
it's actually more here. Sometime I see the budget, people come up with like $30,000 and even more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the problem is that what we experience from our experience, that most products which are usually designed to cater for people who live locally, die locally, and get buried locally. These are products that are offered by funeral directors. They don't work for someone like you and me, who belong to more than one society. If you pass away, you want to maybe be transported to Kenya or Uganda or Zimbabwe if you pass away. So these products don't work. And also the insurance products that are provided by insurance companies like AIG or Pan America or Aviva, they don't cover that type of risk. So what will happen is that most people will beg money from strangers or borrow money to cover expenses to repatriate someone. So there is usually a cash crisis, or people don't have resources to do that. So what we've done is to come up with a product that will provide immediate cash to meet all these expenses. So this is how the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan works. So you also be able to cover yourself in the diaspora, and also you'll be able to add family members back home, because it is your responsibility as well to look after people back home, because everyone will be depending on you as a breadwinner.
Yeah.
So we found out that it is actually a huge burden on people in the diaspora if they lose someone back home. You're actually the first person to know that someone is passed away back home, because they'll be expecting you to provide money, to provide resources. So what we've done is with the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan is that not only are you able to cover yourself and your immediate family, that is yourself and your children and your spouse, but you're also able to add your parents, your brothers and sisters, and your loved ones back home, so that in the event that they pass away, you get cash upfront. So you can use that money to actually fund the funeral, or if you want to travel back home to attend the funeral, you be someone very close to you, like your mom or your dad who has passed away. You need to attend the funeral, but sometimes you don't have the money to do that. So this is where the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan comes in handy. Within 24 hours, when you make a claim, the money is actually paid out in your bank account, and you can buy a ticket, fly back home, and attend the funeral, and also you have enough money to actually fund the rest of the funeral. So we give cash, because cash offers you a lot of flexibility. And also the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan also comes with guaranteed acceptance on application. That means we don't do medicals on application. We don't want to know anything about your medical history, your if you got any medical conditions that are pre-existing. That doesn't affect your application. And also, when you're on the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan, you're covered for life. And so there's guaranteed free cover in the future, which is a very good benefit, because some of the products that are available in the market, they have got an expiry date. You are covered up to a certain age, and after that, you're no longer covered. But our Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan is a whole of life cover, which means that once you're on the product, in the you remain covered for the rest of your life, but you don't need to pay premiums for the rest of your life. We have a feature, a good feature, which is called guaranteed free cover in the future.
So let me ask you a question. So when you say that you give cash, do you take care of the funeral and stuff, or is just to give the money, the cash back, and then the family will take care of the funeral?
Yes, that's a very good question. So like I said, we are in the diaspora. Things are not fixed. Sometimes
Yes.
we may talk about repatriation, but sometimes you may find that some families later on in life, they may decide the decision can be changed to say we no longer want to be repatriated, we want to be laid to rest where you are, like maybe you're in Oregon or you're in New York or you're in London. Maybe you want to be laid to rest there. Maybe this is like 5 years, 10 years down the line. So what will happen then if you were on a product that was only promising to repatriate you to your home country? It means that that product is no longer working. But with the diaspora funeral cash plan, it's a cash. We just give you cash. So the family can decide at the point of need what they want to do. Whether they want to do repatriation, they can use the money to cover repatriation expenses. If it's a burial locally, all you just need to do is to go to the nearest funeral director, you pay them for their services, and then they can deliver their services.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh wow! I feel like this is really cool for the people in diaspora, because a lot of times that people don't have time to mourn their loved ones, and because they are running around looking for money, and it becomes more of that burden of looking for the money becomes even worse than the pain that you're already experiencing, and also the hurry. Sometimes I see when people lose their loved ones, they are in a hurry to book their flights. They're in a hurry to book. It's so much. It's really overwhelming. And I really appreciate what you guys came up with. And let me play a quick ad and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Thank you.
If I didn't have Diaspora, I wouldn't have gone to bury my daughter because I couldn't afford it.
When my father passed away, without them, I don't know where I could have started with all the things I covered for the funeral.
Financially, they were ready to give me the money for the funeral here in the UK, or even in Zimbabwe. They were ready to give me US dollars.
Now we looked at other costs, but we knew that at least she was going to be repatriated.
Yes.
There was enough money to repatriate her.
We wouldn't have made it without Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan.
Okay, Dr. Sibet, let me ask you, if I have like a life insurance, do you think I need there's need to get the funeral cash plan?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question that you've asked there, Betty. And most of our clients usually ask us this question. So you approach someone and say, okay, we've got a funeral cover that is good for you, for your family. And someone says, oh yeah, I don't think I need that because I got a life cover. So what we need to do is to educate our clients and our target market to say that these two, a life cover and a funeral policy, that two different products. They are not substitutes for each other. Let me explain why. So first of all, you need to understand what each of these two cover in terms of risk. So a life cover is it replaces your income when you pass away. Like, for example, yourself, you're going to work or you're running a business. So you got an income that is coming through, okay? So that income is the one that you use to support your family, to pay your bills, to pay your mortgage, or send your kids to school. If you happen to pass away, that income will stop. So this is where life cover comes in. So it replaces your income. And also a life cover, how it's done or underwritten by insurers is that they do a detailed underwriting process. By underwriting, it means that they ask a lot of questions. They check your medical history, your medical background, run a lot of tests to make sure that you don't have certain underlying medical conditions. Or if you have them, those conditions will push up your premiums. And you have to disclose all that information so that you qualify for a life cover. If you don't disclose them, then that's going to cause problems when you make a claim later.
Yes.
So that process is quite detailed, but on the application of a product like ours, like the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan, is very straightforward. Remember, I mentioned that we don't do medicals on application. So
Yes.
that we do what we call guaranteed acceptance. So someone comes to us, they apply for a funeral policy, they're guaranteed to be accepted because we don't even want to know what sort of medical conditions they have. So the application process is very simple. But for a life cover, the application process is very complex, and it requires a lot of information, especially your medical history. So what that means is that when you're making a claim on a life cover, they also do the same thing. They want to check what sort of medical condition that killed you. Is it related to your pre-existing medical condition, or is something that you didn't tell them when you made your application? So the claim process of a life cover is very long. It could be like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months before they can approve your claim, because they want to make sure that you were not lying when you applied for their life cover. And also because it's a huge sum of money, probably you're talking of millions of US dollars or millions of pounds. So they want to make sure that that process is tight. There's no lot of fraud, and that you didn't disclose some of the things. So that process can actually take long. So because when you're dealing with a funeral, what you want is immediacy in terms of claims process. You want it to happen immediately. So that long process will make sure will prevent you to use your life cover to cover your funeral expenses.
Yeah.
Because you will get the money after about 3 months or 4 months. So what are you going to be doing with the body? It's going to lie in the mortuary, isn't it? Waiting to be laid to rest. But with the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan, our product, our application process is very, very simple, straightforward. Within 15 to 30 minutes, we'll set you up and the policy is up and running. And our claim process is very, very simple and straightforward as well. Within 4 hours, most of the times within 4 hours of someone submitting the necessary documents, their money is actually in their bank account, and they'll be able to meet all the expenses, be it buying tickets to go back home to attend the funeral, or be it repatriating the body of their loved ones. They'll be able to do that immediately because money is available immediately. The other major difference also between a life cover and a funeral cover is that most of the life covers, they expire. Maybe most of them, they are like you'll be covered probably up to the age of 65 or 70. After that, you're no longer covered. So that means that if you are on a funeral or on a life cover, it expires when you turn 70. What if you die when you're 90? So it means that you don't have cover.
Yes.
But the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan is a cover for life. You remain covered. So it means that you don't need to worry about anything. Any day when the Lord takes you, you remain covered. And the other major difference, or the other reason why you need a life cover, funeral policy, even if you have your life cover, is that our product is what we call a worldwide protection without borders. What I mean is that you remain covered no matter where you are. If you relocate to your home country, we still remain covered because we're a global company. Our product is global. It's designed with the diaspora in mind. You relocate to Australia, you remain covered. You can go and live probably in another country as long as you continue paying your premiums.
Yeah,
you remain covered. But for a life cover, if you're living in the US and then you move to the UK or move to back to Africa, that life cover expires. They no longer cover you. Most of life covers don't cover out of territory. So that's why we say our clients, you need both, one, a life cover and a funeral policy, because they cover different risks.
okay.
And, so we encourage and we tell our clients, you need both.
Oh wow, that's good good information, and good to know that, because somebody might be thinking now that they have the life cover, they don't need this other product, but you have explained it really well. And what do you think? Because a lot of people, I've seen it since I came to this country almost 8 years now. We have like a community group, and most of the text messages that come in, it's not even the community like fun activities that are happening. We get a lot of death announcements. We need to contribute to this. We need to contribute to this, and that's the only way out. People know. That's the only thing I think now people know. How to create like a GoFundMe and ask for money and everything. So what are your views about all these?
Yeah, that's a very, I can say, I don't know if I can use this word, a primitive way of addressing a problem that exists, and that is very certain to happen to any one of us, because death is very certain. There's nothing as certain as death. As long as you're born, the Bible says, then is appointed to men to die at some stage. So what we need to do now is to make sure we take care of such a certainty with products that are certain and products that are well structured. This idea of relying on communities to help us in the time of bereavement it creates a lot of problems for ourselves, for our families. And some people say, okay, I go to a church, so I'll rely on my church to fundraise in the event that I pass away or I lose someone. That's not the purpose of these groups. These groups should be used to advance other aspects of our lives. Okay, like churches should function as churches, and if you got other groups, they should function as not to fundraise for funerals. If you look at GoFundMe, I mean, it's someone going on GoFundMe, trying to approach strangers to get money. It's quite undignified, and it's embarrassing to families. It's embarrassing to you. It will be embarrassing to your children, and it leaves a lot of emotional scars for families. So it's not something that we think is sustainable for communities, especially for people who are living in the first world. So if you're living in the first world, we need to come up with solutions that show that we are in the first world and we are sophisticated in terms of using financial products like Diaspora funeral cash plan. So we need to plan and protect our families' dignity by taking a funeral policy like the Diaspora funeral cash plan. In my experience, what I've seen is that people put these messages on GoFundMe looking for money. Probably someone says, I'm looking for 10,000 or 15,000 US dollars or 15,000 pounds to help with the funeral for my relative. But you find that 3 months, 4 months of running that campaign, probably they've raised only 500 pounds or $500. There's what I now call a fundraising fatigue in the community. People are now tired of these messages. People are enough, and we can't continue doing that, especially when we have products like these that are structured, that are run properly, that are provided by regulated and authorized insurance companies like us. Okay.
So you're right, because sometimes and I've seen that where money is not even enough, and people have to go for other options like cremation, which is cheaper. And it's really sad for people to have to go for a cheaper option. I don't know. I think even shipping somebody's remains back home is really more expensive than and actually even having to be buried in this country is very important. I mean, expensive as well. So they go for cremation, which is a cheaper option, and it shouldn't be like that. When somebody, when our loved ones goes, like it's celebrating their life and giving them a dignified send off. It's
like the icing on your cake. You have lived a life, and you don't want the last part of your life to be remembered by, oh yeah, the family went on GoFundMe for 6 months trying to raise up money for your life, repatriate you. I don't think that's the a good way of remembering someone. You may do great things and so forth, but if the last bit of your life ends on a bad note, that's the last thing that people will remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for you as an insurance advisor, what would you tell people that joins like the burial societies, where they contribute toward burials, funerals, stuff like that?
Yeah, these are kind of like societies. People come together, they contribute probably towards a fund to say maybe when one of the members passes away, then they can take the money, pay for the funeral. Or what they do is when the funeral happens, then people can just now like say, okay, let's just raise up money now so that we can meet the need. Okay, so they are what we call pre-funded burial societies, or burial societies that are funded there and then. So these used to work maybe back home where we didn't have access to structured financial products. Because maybe back home in the rural areas didn't have access to insurance products, didn't have access to financial services. So what they would do is like come together, put monies together. But they run a risk if you someone living in the US or here in the UK or Australia, still trying to use same methods that were used by people back home in the rural areas or in the villages. I think that's wise enough, because they run they got a lot of risks. I think the biggest risk that you can think of is if you put yourself in that situation is like you are a treasurer, you're holding people's money, and maybe this month you don't have enough money to pay rent, and you are holding your society money, like maybe there's $2,000 in the account. You are tempted to say, okay, let me borrow and then pay for rent, and then maybe when I get the money I can replace it. But sometimes you fail, so there's always a risk of that money to be misappropriated by the person who's handling the money. There's so many stories we have heard of people who have misused the funds, and when the time comes, or say let's pay for the funeral, then the treasurer says that, oh yeah, there's no money, and then people are like, yeah, we've made contributions, where is the money? Then they start chasing each other, they start fighting, but then there's a
that reminds me of I'm laughing because I've heard of an incident that somebody that they ate the money and now after that they started fighting about the money. Oh, you ate the money, how much was contributed and stuff. Yeah,
and the other risk as well is that there's always a chance that you run out of funds.
Yes.
Let's say the money that you contribute is only limited. The money in your fund is only limited to your contributions. But it can happen that there may be multiple claims. Like, let's take, for example, like what's happening in the pandemic right now. So there's always a high risk that you will have multiple claims because people die, maybe daily and so forth. Maybe you had a fund of like $10,000. Say now you have 3 deaths, 4 deaths happening in 1 week. What are you going to do? You're going to run out of funds. Okay, so that's a risk. That's a big risk. And also, maybe you may think, oh yeah, we are sophisticated, we can invest the money, but most societies don't have people with that financial knowledge to know where to invest that money. So you always make wrong decisions. You take that money, invest it, you lose it. And also there's a risk of fraudulent claims coming through because you don't have people who are experienced to handle claims. Because someone can just, in some of these societies, they say, okay, we're bringing money together. Someone comes in with a fake claim. So how are you going to prove that? Okay, I'm here in London and I claim that I've lost my mom in Kenya. How can you prove that has happened? We don't have the resources. You don't have the experience to process the claim. So that there's always that risk. And also there's a risk that people in the society, in the burial society, can relocate to other countries or other place or another city. Maybe you're living in New York and maybe Kenyans in New York come together, you put your fund that in the event someone passes away, they need to repatriate. Maybe half of the people then they migrate to live maybe in California or they go and live in Washington. Then you're left, maybe there are now 2, 3. So that means that society collapses or even relocate to another country. It means that there's always a risk to collapse. And there's also the risk that your children may not be well versed with that kind of approach. So it's only between us as first generation migrants, as it were. our children will not understand how various societies work, so they will tend to collapse with the next generation. So there's always that intergenerational risk. So the solution that we tell our people is you can actually transfer those type of societies onto our book, because we also have got a provision. Not only can you cover yourself as a family or as a single person, but also the capacity to absorb these groups. So say you got a group that you have been running for years, and you say, okay, we've mentioned these risks, and you know they are real and they happen.
Yes.
But we as an insurance company, we got the capacity and we got a place for groups like that. We can actually insure you as a group. And then you know that you're not going to run out of funds. You know that your monies are not going to be embezzled by the treasurer. You know that even people, when they relocate to any other place, you still remain covered, because it's now the risk is now sitting in the book of a licensed insurer who's got huge resources to fund whether there are multiple claims coming through from your group. Okay.
So we're gonna take a short break, and then when we come back, you can tell us if what's the waiting period for joining this amazing product. Yes. And yeah, let's go for a short break.
Money, a death in the diaspora can be overwhelming. Trauma of begging for funeral expenses, loss of personal and family dignity, an undignified and disrespectful send-off, spiraling unpaid bills, no peace of mind. But it doesn't have to be like that. At Diaspora Insurance, we know it's about a dignified send-off and peace of mind that comes with knowing all things are in order. We therefore designed a policy with the diaspora community in mind. You get covered in a currency of your choice: pounds, euros, rands, and US dollars. Guaranteed acceptance, guaranteed cover for life, multi-currency protection, worldwide protection. Your policy is portable from country to country. Payment is within 24 hours of providing the required documentation. Flexible use of your payout. It helps knowing that with Diaspora Insurance, your life will be celebrated no matter what. For a quote, visit www.diasporainsurance.com or call the numbers on the screen. Diaspora Insurance, peace of mind guaranteed.
Okay, I love the peace of mind guaranteed idea, because that's what we need. Peace of mind is good. So yeah, what's the waiting period? Do I have to wait for a year? Because I want our people to get this amazing product and don't miss out.
Exactly. So in terms of waiting period, there's no waiting period for accidental death. So someone joins in today, and they take their policy, and unfortunately, probably they, in a week or something like that, or 5 days of taking the policy, and they're involved in an accident, and they pass away because of that accident. We call that accidental death. There's no waiting period. But for natural death is like where you become unwell and you pass away because of that condition that you suffered from. That's what we call natural death. There is a minimum waiting period of 3 months. After 3 months, you start getting huge benefits. So the minimum waiting period of natural death is 3 months. And for accidental death, there's no waiting period. So that's an amazing product, because most products that we have in the market, which don't do medicals on application, they don't ask you any medical questions, and they provide cash, their minimum waiting period is 24 months. Ours is 3 months. After 3 months, our clients start getting huge benefits. This is because we designed this product with our market in mind, because what we don't want is a situation where you've been contributing, then you lose someone, and yet you still don't have any help from your insurer. So we've shortened our waiting period to cater the needs of our market.
Okay, so I know you have mentioned about you guys don't look at if somebody have like pre-existing conditions, but if you do, does your premium go up high?
No, in terms of premiums, what actually determines your premiums is one, your age, and also the cover amount that you choose. Okay, so the older you are, as you know, I mean, it's slightly more expensive. And the more in terms of cover amount, then the premiums also go up. But if you've got a pre-existing medical conditions, one, we don't ask you what sort of medical conditions you have. We don't even know your blood pressure, or as we always say to our clients, we don't even want to know your BMI, to say, tell us your BMI, how obese you are, or how thin you are, or whether you smoke or you don't smoke, or whether you drink or don't drink. We don't ask all those questions. So that's not part of the application process, and this does not affect your premiums. But what affects your premium is one, your age and the cover amount that you've chosen. Because our product is very, also you can choose any cover amount that you want, and also the age. The slightly older you are, then the premiums are slightly higher.
Okay, so we have gone for 35 minutes, and I don't want us to make it any longer. So can you tell us, because oh my goodness, people will come after me if in case you guys are not a genuine company, or how genuine are you guys, and people can be assured that they are not risking their money, or
Yes, that's a very good question, because a lot of people have lost their monies, probably to people who are not being genuine or not serious. Like I said, we've been in existence for more than 10 years now, and we at Diaspora Insurance, we are authorized and regulated by regulators in the markets we operate in. We are the business is actually reinsured by one of the biggest reinsurers in the world, called Africa Re. And for more information, you can actually go on our website, www.diasporainsurance.com. You can see a lot of testimonials coming from clients that we have helped. We've received serious help from the company. We've made claims and paid out, probably paid out more than $2 million in terms of claims to our clients. So that speaks volumes of our track record as an insurance company in the market. So so that should give people their guaranteed peace of mind to know when they take a Diaspora funeral cash plan, we're there for them, we support them, and when you join the Diaspora insurance, you are part of the family. We actually act as family, because we don't have like a weekend. When a claim comes through, it could be on a Saturday. We pay a claim. We could be Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, we're processing claims, we're paying claims. We don't have Christmas. If it's Christmas period, if you lost your loved one, our offices are open. We call us, we process a claim. We actually been paying claims on a Christmas day, Boxing Day. We're paying out claims. So we believe in helping our clients and to give them that guaranteed peace of mind.
Okay. And we have the numbers down below. As you can see, those numbers, if they contact them, they will, for more information, they will be able to get help, right?
Yes, they'll be able to. One of the numbers, the UK number is not just for UK, but it's also for our international clients, whether in Australia, whether in US, whether you are in Ireland or Europe. You can call those numbers or WhatsApp us. If you just WhatsApp us, then we're able to call you, or you can go onto on the link there. That's diasporainsurance.com/my quote. Then you can leave your details. Then we'll be able to get in touch with you. Our team will be very delighted to talk to you, explain how this product works, how you can get yourself covered, how much you can pay, and also the claim process, how it works. And give you that guaranteed peace of mind that you deserve.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Seibert, for that. Do you have any parting shot, the words you would like to tell our people?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you very much, Betty, for having us this evening here in the UK, or afternoon or morning there in the US.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, and to our listeners and viewers. I just want to encourage you to go on the website, read more about our product, get in touch with us, call us, and we'll be able to help you cover yourself to cover your families, protect yourself, protect your dignity, as we always say. Give yourselves guaranteed free cover. Let's not live like what our grandfathers used to do, like using less advanced methods of solving problems. We have a structured insurance product that has got a track record. So let us make use of that to protect ourselves and protect our families, not just in the diaspora, but also back home. Because when we do that, we are doing ourselves a huge favor, and we're doing our families a huge favor by taking this product.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. And thank you so much for thinking, this is really good for our people. And you guys are not, you're not keeping all this information to yourselves. This is an amazing product to help our people. And yes, they will contact you guys or me. If you have any questions, let me know, guys. And I'll be able to, I will let you know if anybody has a question. And I will put the link on they have a YouTube page, and I will put the link below, and also the link for the websites. I'll have those, and I'll put on the description box below. And thank you so much, our people, for watching. Thank you, and have a good night, everybody. Take care of yourselves. May God bless you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
If I didn't have Diaspora, I wouldn't have gone to bury my daughter because I couldn't afford it.
When my father passed away, without them, I don't know where I could have started with all the things I covered for the funeral.
Financially, they were ready to give me the money for the funeral here in the UK, or even in Zimbabwe. They were ready to give me US dollars.
Now we looked at other costs, but we knew that at least she was going to be repatriated.
Yes.
There was enough money to repatriate her.
We wouldn't have made it without Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan.